Staff, students, and honored guests. My name is Michael Danso. I am a grade 11 student here at Sir Wilfrid Laurier Secondary School. Good morning, and welcome to our school's Remembrance Day ceremony. If you have not already done so, please turn off all electronic devices. Gentlemen are asked to remove any non-religious head coverings for the duration of the ceremony. Every year, on November 11th, Canadians pause to remember. 102 years ago today, the guns fell silent to mark the end of the Great War. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month was chosen so that no one would ever forget the sacrifice. Many who fought for Canada were our age. Their plans for the future were as bright as ours. They attended school, played sports, and enjoyed the company of their friends. They served in the Boer War, in World Wars I and II, in the Korean War, and in Afghanistan, and in many other combat and peacekeeping operations. Over 100,000 Canadians never returned from these conflicts. Many are buried far from home. During this ceremony, we will remember those who left their homes, friends, and loved ones to fight for freedom. We will especially honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eden Nowitzki, and I am also a grade 11 student here at Sir Wilfrid Laurier Secondary School. I would like to share the story of Major John McCrae, the Canadian who wrote In Flanders Fields. He was born in Guelph, Ontario, and became an officer in the Canadian Medical Corps. His best friend, Alexis Helmer, lived in Ottawa and attended Lisgar Collegiate. The two men served together in South Africa during the Boer War and in Belgium during the Great War. Sadly, Alexis Helmer was killed by an artillery shell during the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915. Major McCrae wrote In Flanders Fields after performing a burial service for his friend. His simple poem became a universal tribute to those who made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. Major McCrae died of pneumonia in 1918 and was buried with full military honors at the Wimereux Cemetery in France. At the funeral procession, his horse Bonfire wore his master's boots backwards in military tradition. John McCrae is remembered as the person with the eye of a gunner, the hands of a surgeon, and the soul of a poet. Michael will now give a reading of his famous poem.
Thank you, Eden. In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still singing bravely fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
Michael, thank you very much for your heartfelt reading. We will now lay ceremonial wreaths on behalf of the student body. School Resources Officer Constable Alan Porteous joins us today. He was a combat systems engineer with the Royal Canadian Navy. He will lay a wreath on behalf of Canada's veterans and the first responders who keep us safe. We invite you to listen to Canada's first national anthem, The Maple Leaf Forever, played by piper Mr. Jim Forbes. Mr. Forbes?
now invite you to listen to Amazing Grace, a musical selection by the Sir WiL Concert Band, directed by Ms. Shrum. Ms. Shrum?
Thank you, Ms. Shrum. 102 years ago today, the guns fell silent to mark the end of the Great War. It is a Canadian tradition to be silent for 2 minutes, a pittance of time on Remembrance Day. We will now hear the playing of the last post, observe 2 minutes of silence, and hear The Flowers of the Forest, a lament played by piper Mr. Jim Forbes. We would like that you stand and remain silent until Mr. Forbes has finished playing. Please stand.
that all SWiL staff, students, and guests please be seated. We need to recognize our piper, Mr. Jim Forbes, from the Sons of Scotland and the Cameron Highlanders. He has been piping for the Sir Wilfrid Remembrance Day ceremony for 18 years, and he is an integral part of our culture. Thank you also to the Royal Canadian Navy veteran and Police Constable Alan Porteous. The message from all veterans and current Canadian Armed Force members is never forget, and we must listen to their wisdom.
Thanks to Miss Shrum and the concert band for the superb performance of Amazing Grace. Thanks also to Mr. Molnard, who used his formidable technological and time management skills to tape, edit, and create this presentation to allow us to remember. We also must congratulate all SWiL students on your fine behavior this morning. You have been quiet, courteous, and respectful. Best wishes for the end of the quadmester and for continued success in the school year. We invite all staff and students to return to their educational activities for the rest of the day. Thank you.